Oh, okay. So put in there L1. Cool. Now do the calculator. But if L2 is missing, you just go to stat setup editor number 5, and it'll bring you back something that's missing. All right, so if you are missing R and you have your calculator, you only have to do what I'm about to do once. It's really dumb. They don't just do this automatically. This option was given an on-off switch to conserve processing power, which nowadays is not a concern at all, but it's sort of a legacy, I guess. So doing this is not going to screw up anything with your calculator. You just leave it on. So if you don't have it showing up, hit second, 0. See how it says catalog? It's every frickin' thing the calculator can do. So the very first one, for example, is taking the absolute value of something, right? Okay. So I want you, everybody has this list that needs it, that doesn't have the R showing up. Now hit the D button. See the D right there next to matrix right there? It's above there. Just hit that button that's got the green D. I want to go to the D section of this list.
Do you have to hit alpha first?
No, you don't, because it's already set to do that. It assumes that's what you're going to do. So you should be here now. I love that first one. I've never actually used it. You're supposed to be able to input the year and the whatever, and it tells you what the day was. You ever seen those people that are like January 5th, 2003, and they're like, it was a Tuesday. And it was a Tuesday. I'm like, what the hell are you doing with your brain? There's more important shit. Anyway. So, scroll down to diagnostic on. How much does this matter? 0. Because once you do it, it's done. And if you borrow a calculator and your R doesn't show up, bring it up to me and I'll do it for you. Not a big deal. Hit diagnostic on, enter, enter. Make sure it says done. Always anticlimactic. How are we doing? What's up? What's the matter? Whoever did not have R showing up, are you with me with this?
Yes.
If you had R showing up, you're golden. You don't have to worry about this shit at all. Yes?
Would it mess up if I did it?
If you do what?
If I already did this?
No, it's already turned on. So hit second 0. Hit the D button. Hit X to the -1. See the D above it? Yeah, no, right there, yeah. Now go to diagnostic on. There you go. On. Enter. Enter. Okay, now, if you go back to stat, calculate number 4, stat, calc, number 4. Bam, 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 bam. Everybody's R should show up now. Stat, calc, shit, stat, calc, number 4. Bam, 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 bam. Yes. Oh.
I just,
What?
do we have to go to catalog every time or will it?
No, now it's on. You flip the switch. Yeah. What's that? Did you do the diagnostic thing? Oh. Oh. Yep. All right. You have 2 things you told me. Diagnostic on. Now you can tell it to do. So you had 2 things on a row there. There. Oh, just hit all the way down to calculate. Yeah. The gas. Yes, yes, yes. So, real quick, not that I need it, but a little defense of how I teach. Can you imagine trying to do this kind of shit for everything about, push this button? Isn't this insane? So part of you is happy we're not going to use that formula I gave you. And then I love it in my other class, they're all like, well, I don't understand. See, I mean, God, yeah. So, anyway, this is still much better than trying to use that formula, but it's not the end-all, be-all. Oh, thank God, the calculator can do it for me. It doesn't know what buttons you want it to push. So, we have to. Oh, shit. Anyway, look at the R value. Is it what we thought it would be? Remember, this is for this situation. We knew it had a negative slope to it, but it was really weak. How does that verify that? It's negative, but it's also much closer to 0 than to -1. Yeah. Okay, so let's write some stuff down. So R is negative 0.339. Is this strong correlation? Hell no. What kind of correlation is it? Weak? Negative. Put you guys together and you got it. If there is any correlation. So what's going to happen on a quiz or a test? I would give you an R value that it needs to achieve to show any correlation. So to be honest, with such a small sample size, more than likely that's not even enough to be correlation. So on a quiz or test, I tell you, like here I'd say R must be less than negative 0.5 or something to show correlation. So does this show correlation? No. Yes?
Oh, mine doesn't have the right calculations. I double
Oh.
checked my graphs.
Your points?
Yeah.
How far off is it? A lot. Holy shit. You went L and L3, and when you did...
That's L3.
That says L3,
Why is it
yeah,
L3?
dude. Because it wants to hit stat, set it back. You just hit the new line. Where you
Oh.
yeah. Then go back in your list. And now you can just tell it, I want L2 to be L3. Bam! And now if you do stat count number 4.
Oh.
All right. Oh. Should we got those for me? What's the line of best fit equation? See, it's about negative 2.54, right? X plus 89.83 roughly, right? Yes. How would I put that in the calculator? Somebody told me already. Earlier you told me. Yeah, hit Y equals, hit the Y equals button and just put it in there. Don't forget the X. Which is the right negative button to use? There's only one negative. The small one's right. You want the bottom of the calculator, Jeff. Alright. Negative 2.54x plus 89.83. You guys with me?
Oh, it's right here.
Y equals up here. And then you just put the equation in. Oh. Really does. Yeah, I should show you what I did. Hit that. You see the mode button next to seconds? Hit it real quick. Hit the mode button. You see how I made everything on the left-hand side highlighted? Somebody highlighted some other weird shit. Now if you go to Y equals, it should work. Okay. Everybody with me on that? Sorry? Oh, your X button is right there. It's your all-purpose variable button is right there. Once you get that in, hit graph, and voila. Yep, Jeff, that's a bunch of points in the line. How many data points are actually on the line? Looks like one, maybe, right? Which is fine. That's the way it is. Very often there won't be any that are on the line. The line isn't supposed to go through the data points. It's supposed to fit all of them. And it is a graphical average. And the R is sort of like a second dimensional standard deviation, but you don't have to ever think that. All right. So I want you guys to try out the second one. And by the way, real quick, on a test or a quiz, you got to come up and show me this. And I'll have a little place on the test where I'll initial my initials in some predetermined color. All right, you guys understand? You have to show me this. It's part of what I check you on. Who had a question? Me?
What is the equation that you plugged in to get the
The one that we got, the negative 2.54. Come back. Heather, what?
Sorry, got it.
I heard you say fuck. Alright. So you guys try the second set. So what I do is I would clear out L1. Don't ever hit delete, because that's when you lose a list. If you lose a list, hit stat, set a better. And if you don't remember that, just print out the damn guide I put up on the website. It's amazing. Alright, we do this with Joseph. Alright, sweet. It's always nice to get the same size list. Whenever you put new data in, you have to hit zoom 9 again. Because right now, if I just say graph, it's looking, oh shit, what did it do? Oh, I see what it did. If I just hit graph, it's looking at where the old data was.
Oh. How do you get rid of the line? My line.
Go to y equals hit clear. And then you have to, whenever you put new data in, you have to zoom 9. And it'll find it for
I
you.
got the steps right here.
The steps are on that sheet I gave out also, but, you know, it's fine. Okay. So see if you can get R in your line of best fit.
Oh, because it's mismatched, so we need L1 and L2, so let the L1 and L2 is snap. Is it? Like, if you go to whatever one, the last one.
Oh, we'll get there. Oh, yeah. We can, I forgot what it was. What's up, sir? No. No. Are you? Yeah. Maybe. Let's see what Are you alright? You guys? Okay.
Okay, now let's leave it.
Yeah.
The second step off.
That's what I'm getting.
Right, L1, L2. Now you have to do the two. Down. To nine. So now that's there, so you go here and then just delete that three. And then go back to the drop.
Alright.
Ah!
Oh, he's Scheissens. Alright, is this. Yes.
Question for her. Do you round it up or is it always 3 spots? Or is it the one
Like 3
spot?
spots is good. So for R, I get, where to go? 0.738. Is this strong correlation? Yeah, it's decently strong. What kind? Positive. So on a test or a quiz, I'd say interpret R, and that's where you say weak positive, strong negative, something like that. I'm not going to give you, it's going to be either clearly 1, like 0.92, or it's going to be 0.17. I'm not going to make you figure out like a wine taster, say, it's got hints of strength, but, it could be, it's either strong or weak, not moderately strong. When it's Tuesdays, it feels a little weak. No, we're not going to. So what's the equation?
Like 6, 5, 7.
Stop going away. All right, 0.657 x plus
7.967.
967 is true. I like it. And now we can just throw that in the old calculator. Y equals everything I just said. 0.657. Got it. What would happen? Anybody know if I forgot to put the x in there? What would it graph?
Graph what's
What would it look
after
like? The graph would look like what? Yes, I see somebody doing it. It would just be a straight line because it would be a constant. So that freaks me. When you see a straight line like this, you're like, oh, I forgot to put my x in. That makes it diagonal because that makes the y change as x changes, which seems to be the whole point of linear correlation. Oh my god. Now if we hit graph, curve plot. Kickins the acid. So let me do this next step. Which one of these two that we did would you trust the line to make predictions?
It's positive.
Yeah, the one that had a better R value, right? The closer R is to 1, the more I trust the line. And again, on the Quizlet test, I'll tell you exactly what value of R it has to reach to start trusting it. So I really want you to realize something. If I wanted you to guesstimate the grade of somebody who studied for 11 hours or whatever, before we learned this, our best guess would be just the average grade. What a linear correlation line does is it gives us a much more specific way to predict stuff given some kind of information like number of hours studied. So is 11 one of the points I gave you? 11 hours studied. Is 11 hours studied in the data? No. But it is between the two highest and lowest, right? So if I wanted to predict, what grade would I predict if somebody did 11 hours of studying? How would I figure out what grade I predict they would make? Do what now?
Yes. Delete.
No. I have a very specific way to handle it. What variable is hours studied? It's x, xy table, right? So what's x? What's the x value I want? 11. Don't I have an equation that tells me how the y changes for the x? So I would put 11. I didn't put the right number. There you go, buddy. Why are you writing like that? 0.657 times 11. Yes? Right? Does that make sense? I mean, we created an equation. In algebra, you're given frickin' equations. Here we created one based on data. I can then make predictions if my R tells me I can trust it. So see what we get. Quit out of here. 0.657 times 11 plus 70.967. I get 78.194. And real quick, watch this. That's fine, right? You guys all get that? Just in case you're curious, if I go back to graph, do you see how there's a calculator up there? If I hit second trace to go to calculate value, I could just tell it 11 and it spits out. Because it's a calculator. It's got the stupid equation. It should be able to use it. You don't have to do it. I just did it. Oh, you could just plug the 11 in and get it the old-fashioned way, right? That's not bad, is it? Not yet. No, that's it. So, here's this. Here's the last thing I want you to do, which sounds promising, but it's going to take a little while, so don't get too excited, kids. I'm going to give you this, And what I want you to do is to draw in a line of best fit and then calculate the equation of the line you drew. Then we're going to let the calculator do it, and we're going to compare our answers to its answer. Let me give you this, and I'll kind of do the first steps with you and then let you go for it. Yes, sweet. All right, so you're going to want a pencil. If you don't have a sharp edge, you do. You have sharp edges. You have paper. You have notebooks. You have book. You have your calculator. You have a straight edge. What should I use? Sure, I'll use it. I choose you. So what I would do is I would lightly just kind of do something that actually looks good. Shit, I didn't mean for it to look good. How do I, there could be one little thing I could do with the line I just drew. Maybe. That line looks pretty good actually, I just lucked out. Let me try again and screw up. Alright, I've got to screw up this one. Come on, Jeff, you can screw up. I made the same damn line. I'm too good at this shit. All right. Anyway. So, the first time you do it, I'm not even going to look at it this time. There. All right. That is obviously bad. This is why the first line you draw is definitely pencil, kind of light. So what's the immediate thing I could do to improve that? I can move it down, or maybe even tilt it a bit. Do you see what I mean by you have to draw this at least a couple times until you feel pretty good? So, get a line that you feel pretty good about. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. You don't have to go through any of the actual little blue measles on there, right? Mine happens to go through that one perfectly. Lost it. And let's see, what else? And it goes through this point right there. So you might have to kind of pick a point that isn't actually a data point, which is perfectly fine. Because like I said, your line of best fit doesn't have to go through anything. So my 2 points would be 10, 12, and 21, 2. And I'm really sorry, notice how this scale is a little bit funkadelic. But too bad. You guys see how that one doesn't start at 0? So be a little careful about it. Please, dear God, don't everybody use my points. Those are mine. You should find 2 points that your line goes through. It might not go through any of the blue points, but you just find somewhere that it's like right in the middle somewhere, like right, I could have used that point maybe. Or if it goes right through, like right there, maybe I could have used. Does everybody see what's happening? And then, it's a little algebra review. Do you remember how to do shit with lines? Once you get 2 points, you should be able to calculate the line equation. Let's see what happens. What's up? Once you get 2 points, keep going. Get your slow. I put the line equation there. Don't use no linear regression in the calculator yet. That's cheating. It's got to be 2 points. Yeah. Yeah. So I get 2 points. You can make the line equation. I like it. Forgot what the slope equation is. What's the slope equation? M equals, I get it started, y2. So it's different. It's basically, what is it in words? Rise or run. Wise over the other guys. Rise and wise rhyme. It's always nice. Wise on the top. So for me, let me freeze this so you guys don't just copy my work. I trust you guys. I'm gonna get a gross. Oh, what's better? I like it. Okay. Here's what I got. Where are you? Please. I got negative 0.909x plus 21.09. Everybody should get a slightly different answer. What do you guys get for the slope? Has anybody calculated your slope yet? You guys doing all right? This is algebra, but it should be simple algebra.
Is it not 7?
I got 19 over 20.
19 over 21, negative. Okay. So like just under -1. I got just under -1. I don't know what the right answer is. I forget. Anybody else got a different slope? Did everybody else get the same slope as that? I really doubt that. Who got a different slope? Anybody?
I got -9 or 0.928.
Beautiful, kick ass. Anybody else? Bless you. None of us are right, by the way, but what's it matter? We're doing it by hand. We're human. We're gonna make mistakes. You guys, everybody get something near that, near -1? Did anybody get bigger than -1? Yes, okay, sweet, I love it. Nothing wrong with that, shit. Do this thing by hand. Okay. And then you can sort of see, the nice thing is, if I could see anything, jeez. See how my y-intercept looks to be about 21? So I feel pretty good about my y-intercept down here, right? It's kind of a little check you could do, make sure things look to be a little bit on track. Yes, no, maybe so. See that? My y-intercept have to be about 21. And sure enough, I got just about 21 for a y-intercept. I feel pretty good about that. You're all like, yeah, you're the math boy. Well, yeah, shit. Kick this problem's ass. But now let's try to do it. Has everybody got their own line of best fit? What's happening? What's up?
Where did you get 100 over 11?
All right, crazy ass Jeff. So I kept the,
Oh, you
right? You got to distribute, then I add the 12, like denominators, and then I make decimals. You guys can make decimals earlier if you want to, I guess. You should never round to the end of a problem, but oh well. Everybody knows how they get the slope. Then you plug stuff into the equation. What point did I pick? I picked this point. What if I would have picked that point? The equation would have been exactly the same. That's something you should remember from algebra. Straight line has a billion, not even a billion, an infinite number of points in there. I could use any of them to create the equation. They can't change because that would mean that line swerves, right? Can't do that. How are we doing there? sorry if you were told there would be no algebra and statistics, that's dumb. Whoever told you that, don't listen to them anymore. Has everybody got their equation? You guys doing it right? Yes. What's your point, Sushka? So you got your slope, 11. So you gotta use this equation. So which point are you gonna pick for this equation? You pick your point. Good, so x1 is 7. 11 is 15. M is 0.8. Should be negative, right? If you do 15 minus 6, you have to do 7 minus 18. You have to go the same. Is this a negative or positive slope? That's the only reason we have subscripts in that equation, just to make sure you go the same way. Negative. Yeah. Same thing, just negative. Negative 1. Oh, you got it. Alright. So now y minus 15. I love you guys. It's like you don't trust that I'll actually come help you. That was me. You have different points. So did you use this equation? Yes, here it is. So 11 over negative 12 times x is that. 11 over negative 12 times 18. So what's 11 times 18? And then it'll be over 12. So it's negative 190, or positive, right? Two negatives cancel. 198 over 12. Yeah. And now you can just make both of those into decimals. Divide them. Yeah. Just divide these. 9 divided by 11, 90 divided by 11. Right. What's that? What do you ask? Plus 4 though, right? Plus 4. You forgot your plus 4. Yeah, so now you just go this strip out. Yeah. So, y minus y1, 15. Y is everything. That's why I don't put a value in. Subscripts mean specific. Y means all of the y's. So I can't put a value in for y because it's supposed to represent all of them. Same thing with y equals mx plus b. So you use exactly this formula. If you chose this,